I need to love the product.
Yes.
And I actually like when people don't like it.
Yeah.
Some people say I turn down deals that could make my life way better.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not about that.
How do you feel about art being like competitive and like judgment on art?
So, that's something that I've battled with for a long time, because even coming from like a strategic business standpoint, I'm always thinking about, okay, what's like a cool plot device or something that I could tell this story to make it unique, but also have like commercial appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I've found that like in my creative center ends up kind of being in between that in some way. And recently I read Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act.
Yeah.
And he really harps on the fact that you want to make sure art is for you at the end of the day.
Yes.
If you're trying to make it for anybody else and you're not happy with it,
it's contrived.
Yeah. So and that's what, some people say I turn down deals that could make my life way better.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not about that.
No.
I know it was like, I wrote a piece and we had success digitally with it. It went super viral, which I did strategically to grow the IP or grow leverage in numbers to then take it and make it as a feature. And got offered a deal by like a large studio, but it was only to write it and not direct it and not to produce it. And for me, it was probably the hardest career decision I ever made, but it just didn't feel right.
Right.
And yes, it's a nice check and it could have been amazing. And maybe that could have been the thing that would have got me in the game further. And then we could have worked on the next one or the next one or the next one. But for me, I just can't see my art out there and it not be mine.
Yeah.
I'd rather die on my own sword and like, let me go do what I do and see how they decide.
Yeah.
But within that product, that film that we did, I learned that I need to love the product.
Yes.
And I actually like when people don't like it.
Yes.
And love it. And if you're down the middle somewhere or someplace in the middle, then people start saying, no, this is amazing. No, this is like the worst thing ever. And like, okay, cool. But if I feel like I have the taste buds to allow it to go out and be whatever it needs to be in the world. So,
and I love that you didn't let people project their idea of happiness onto you, because who's to say? I've had so many girls tell me like, why didn't you date this guy? You would have, or why didn't you do? And I'm like, because I wouldn't have been happy. Maybe you would have been happy in that scenario.
Momentarily.
But yeah.
And for
that
what
doesn't
reasons?
work for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so as far as it being competitive, does that like how do you feel about that?
That gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. My dad always said that music is art, not a sport. So we should leave the competitiveness to sports.
Yeah.
And
again, I think it comes back to like your truthfulness. It's like if you're like, wow, I really like this, and you don't need that validation, you don't need anybody else to say this is amazing or to be like a huge mass success. If it is, cool. If it's not, I'm still going to keep creating.
There are a lot of trash songs that have gotten Grammys or number ones. And it's like, so that, for us to measure it by that, even me having Grammy nominated on my bio, like we know what we do that for, right?
Yeah.
It's not, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I literally it's like whatever, but everybody else does. So
you got to play the game. It's at the end, you're a businesswoman at the end of the day too.
Absolutely.
You understand how things work and how how society works.
Yeah, it gets you in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So I totally believe that too. I love what your dad says too.
Yeah.
It's not a sport.
It's not a sport.
Even though it feels like it a lot of the time.
It does. That is so stressful, that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And playing the game, I mean, it's the reason I had a Rolls Royce for a year. Like, I don't care about that. But like, so many people are like, ooh, you have a Rolls Royce. Like, let's invite you to and I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Like, I'm still the same girl, but now you want to invite me because I have okay, got it.
Yeah. And just understanding how the game works. It's, it's the longer you're in it though, if you're in it for the right reasons. Because did you feel like you were always in it? Like, hey, I'm in the game for life. Like this is,
I did. Yeah. I love music so much. Mm-hmm. And I love like being able to use that as a medium to heal. When I hear music, like, so I'm in school for yoga. I'm learning, I'm getting a certification in Kundalini, which is more like the spirit-based practice.
I've heard many people have saved many people's lives.
Yes. Yeah. So, it's dope because she was saying like everything is yoga. Like you take a stroll down the street. It's everybody thinks that yoga is like the vinyasa flow where you're doing all this like movement stuff, and you could literally be sitting still and doing yoga. And so for me, like, music is yoga because I'll listen to a song and I'll just start laughing and I'm like, yo, this is so fire. Like, it'll just make me I'll feel like I'm high.
Yeah.
Or I'll listen to a song and I want to cry, or I'll listen to a song and I want to call someone. And like, so the spirituality behind it and like how it makes me feel like I'm literally like going through this emotional roller coaster on drugs, whatever it is, like, it's literally my